Amnesty Versus Asylum. And so thank you so much for taking time out of your busy day to watch the videos. I really appreciate it. If you're not already, take a second or two and subscribe. Hit the notifications so that you can get all the new videos just as soon as they come out. I'd really appreciate that. And so, okay, asylum versus amnesty. Now, let's not get confused here. Two very different things. Well, asylum sounds like an attractive sort of word in that it provides political dissidents, it provides any sort of person that is not from America the opportunity to seek out safe place here as a result of their home not being adequately proper for them in humane kinds of ways, right? And so this is asylum. When excuse me, when people seek asylum, they're often leaving governments and or countries that have fallen apart, both socially and economically, and they come here because we have a far better quality of life and our government is not arguably very organized. Without question, very organized. Good or bad, not quite sure. Yeah, but definitely organized. And so I'm not here to advocate for asylum. Asylum is a band-aid on a much larger injury that does require not only mending, but time, and most importantly, patience. And it was told to me by a close acquaintance recently here that people need to become comfortable with ideas before any sort of policy can be executed. And, you know, I think it's long overdue to start evaluating some of the executive powers that the President of the United States has, right? And so most recently we've seen kind of an example in a bad way with the separation of families at the border as a result of not just COVID, but the expiration of previous policy right in the middle of COVID that just ended up being hell on earth for a lot of people that were involved in that very process. And as much as I would like to continue to talk about whatever it is that impacts the decisions that are made by this country to impact immigration and things like this, immigrants, the executive powers by the President of the United States, one of them is that they can potentially, that person in charge, man or woman, can grant amnesty, you know, and amnesty is something that I think it's been done one time in US history, and amnesty is the complete blanketed legal stay and issuance of executive order for people within our borders that are illegal, right? So it immediately makes an illegal immigrant legal. It immediately grants them citizenship without having to become naturalized and without having to worry about multinational corporations exploiting their labor and sending them back home with no rights, with no guarantee that they're going to have any work in the future. And it's time that we start thinking hard about how much more impactful it can be if we make some of these larger scale decisions that old people right now somehow for some reason are unwilling to discuss and or even have out on the table. And so it's important when we're making decisions to have knowledge of all of our available decisions. And I mean, without it, it's literally not only dishonest, but misleading and rigged in that there's no free choice, right? But if there are people willing to advocate for large, impactful change immediately, then this is kind of the only way that we can solve some of the problems that we've created. And so again, amnesty versus asylum, and amnesty is the better conversation to have because it's more meaningful, it's more impactful, and it is not a band-aid. It actually addresses the wound.